Hey guys, so today I'm here to film my May book haul because it's May already and the weather is starting to get really nice. So if you hear any outside noise, that's because I have my door open and my dog is out there, so I don't want to close it and she gets stuck out there. But yeah, it's just so nice. I love having the fresh air and the sunshine. So yeah, I'm sorry for kind of a lack of videos this month. I was so busy and I'm still going to be super busy, and I'm going to New York next month. So that's going to be super busy. And I'm trying to finish up with school, and yeah, so hopefully this massive book haul will kind of make up for that, because I've kind of been on a little bit of a ban / slowdown, but at the beginning of the month I had a lot of pre-orders and I went to the book outlet store. So yeah, let's just get right into this because I don't want to be here all day and I don't want you guys to be here all day either. The first three books that I'm going to show you were books that were sent to me to review, and the first one is Hypocrisy by DM Anachino. I'm sorry. This was sent to me as part of a blog tour, and this is an adult book that seems like it's going to be kind of like a thriller, and it is about a doctor who is kind of researching different things. I don't know how much to say because I know some people like to go into books blind, and I do too sometimes, but a doctor is kind of researching different things and then two homicide detectives get involved, so it seems like it's going to be very thrilling and I think it'll be very good. And then from the wonderful people at Quirk, I received The Last Policeman and Countdown City by Ben H. Winters. This is a trilogy. And I think this, I don't want to say fantasy, but I think it'll also be like a thriller. And on the back of this one it says, "What's the point in solving murders if we're all going to die soon anyway?" So I think Phil and or Geraldine have read this, so if they did and if they reviewed it, I'll link it down below, but I'm not sure, so I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, I'm very excited to read these because Quirk always does such a good job with books and I enjoy all of their books, so I have no doubt that this will be the same way. Then I picked up 3 bargain books from Chapters because I always have to go into Chapters, and the first one that I got is The Peculiars by Maureen Doyle McQuarrie. This is, I want to say dystopian, that seems like the right classification. It's about a girl named Meg who on her 18th birthday she leaves her mother and her grandmother and her comfortable city life, and she goes kind of on an adventure into the wilderness to look for her father because he had disappeared into a place called Scree when she was little, and this place is supposed to be filled with the Peculiars. So yeah, I think a lot of things will be uncovered during this adventure, and I'm very looking forward to it because I've been wanting to get it for a while. Then I picked up Sing You Home by Jodi Picoult because it was $8. I read Between the Lines by her, which is her YA book, but this is adult, and I'm not entirely sure what it's exactly about because it is adult, but at the end it says Sing You Home is about identity, love, marriage, and parenthood. And what really intrigued me about this one, and I didn't realize it until I sat down to film this, is on the inside it says every life has a soundtrack, all you have to do is listen. And so music is a big part, and there's actually a CD included, so I guess you can listen to it as you read it, and that kind of made me really excited to read it because music is everything in my life. I have a tattoo I really want to get that's like based around music, so I'm so intrigued to read this, and I'm sure it will be fantastic just for the fact that it included a CD. Just creativity. And then the last bargain book that I picked up was Triangles by Ellen Hopkins. I do own this in paperback, but it was $8 to get it in hardcover, and the hardcover is so pretty. This is an adult book, and it kind of, I don't want to say centers, but it's about 3 women who are going through their own version of a midlife crisis. So I'm sure it'll be good just because I like Ellen Hopkins a lot, and this one, as the rest of them, are written in verse, so I'm sure it'll be a quick read. And yeah, so I'll just get right into the ones from Book Outlet because there are a lot. Okay, back up. When I was talking about this book, I said her name was Meg. Her name is not Meg, it's Lena, or Lena, L-E-N-A. I was getting the name confused with this book because the main character in this book, her name is Meg. So in this book, something happens to Meg, and I'm not going to say what because some people like going into books blind, but something bad happens and she's left with a key, and it's like a mechanical key, and it kind of unlocks secrets and all this kinds of stuff. So it seems like this will be very adventure-y, and that intrigues me. And of course there's a love interest involved because that always has to happen. It says, together with a handsome stable hand she barely knows but hopes she can trust, Meg will be swept into a hidden world of deception, betrayal, and revenge. The clockwork key has unlocked her destiny. So this is the first book in a series or a trilogy. So I hope it'll be good because I really like the cover and it sounds interesting. So then I picked up an adult book called The Vault by Toby Hall. This is a dystopian set in the 1930s, and that alone is kind of what grabbed my attention, plus the cover, because the cover is what made me want to pick it up. If you haven't been to the book outlet store but you live in the area, it's in St. Catharines. I recommend you go. I'm not technically from the area, I'm like an hour and a half away, but it's worth the drive. This is about 3 men who kind of work in this vault, and they discover a file that shouldn't really be there, so they do some research and they uncover things about this city's past and kind of what the future is going to look like, and it sounds, again, very thrilling. I'm really into the thrilling kind of books. The next book I picked up is Girl Stolen by April Henry. This is about a girl, Cheyenne? I'm so bad with names. And she gets kidnapped, obviously, by the title. She's 16, and how it kind of happens is the car she's in gets stolen, but the guy didn't purposely mean to steal her. She's blind, so she has no idea where she is, and there's kind of a backstory to her family, I guess, which gives the kidnapper motive to keep her. So I think this will, again, be very interesting. The last kidnapping book I read was Stolen by Lucy Christopher, and I was kind of disappointed in that one, so hopefully this one can be better. It was only like $2 though. So then I picked up Extremities by David Lubar. It says stories of death, murder, and revenge, which is basically what this is. It's 13 stories of death, murder, and revenge, and it has like pictures and stuff throughout it. So I think I'm probably going to pick this up soon because it looks amazing, and again, it was only a couple dollars, so the cover is kind of what grabbed my attention, and I'm very glad I picked it up. Then I picked up Fever 1793 by Laurie Halse Anderson. This is the author of Speak and Winter Girls and a bunch of other books, but I guess this one's the most popular because it got an award. I'm not really sure what it's about, but somebody was telling me I need to read this because it's one of those books that you just have to read. So I can't really explain what it's about, but if you're interested, it sounds like it'll be like one of those kind of classics. So yeah, you should check it out if you're interested. Sorry I can't do it better justice. Then I picked up The Face on the Milk Carton and Whatever Happened to Janie by Carolyn B. Cooney. This is the first one. I think this is the second one, but I also own The Voice on the Radio and What Janie Found, which I think are the third and the fourth. So I've been slowly collecting these for bargain price. But this is, again, just another kidnapping story. Except this one is about a girl named Janie who is looking at pictures of missing children on the sides of milk cartons. She finds one about a 13-year-old girl who had been kidnapped 12 years before from a shopping mall, and she recognizes the picture as herself. So I think this will be interesting, and yeah. I think there's 4 or 5 books in the series. It might just be 4, but they're little, so. Then I picked up When She Woke by Hilary Jordan. I had heard my friend Keisha talk about this book. If you don't know who Keisha is, I don't know where you've been on my channel, but I will link her down in the description. She's like one of my best friends here on BookTube. And this, I think, is kind of supposed to be like The Scarlet Letter, whereas everybody that's committed a crime wears a color. And if I remember correctly, she has convicted murder So I think it was like an abortion though. So she has to wear red. Yeah, the victim was her unborn child, yeah. So yeah, it seems like it'll be a lot like The Scarlet Letter, which I have not read, but I've seen Easy A, and I understand the concept of The Scarlet Letter, so I can kind of make that assumption. But I own The Scarlet Letter, so I'll probably read that first, and then I read this, but this one looks and sounds so good. So. Then I picked up If the Witness Lied, also by Carolyn B. Cooney. This was just a couple of dollars online, or at the store, I meant. But it's a couple dollars online, so if you were interested you can check it out. And I'm not really sure what it's about. So it says it's a thriller about like love and devotion and recovery and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm just trying to read something that's different, not dystopian. So then this one I'm so excited about, and I like freaked out in the store when I saw it. I picked up Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. I've been wanting to read this book forever, like, because everybody talks about this author, so I had to pick it up. And it is about a senior in high school, and that's about it. With contemporaries, I kind of like going into them blind. So, but it says, would you rather know a truth that makes you feel hopeless or keep believing the lies? So, I don't know. But this one sounds really good, and I'm really excited because I've been wanting it for so long. So I was super excited to find it super cheap. Then I picked up The Almost Moon by Alice Sebold. This is the author that wrote The Lovely Bones. Can I not talk today? I can't talk today. And this is a novel that actually takes place over the course of a day, so that should be interesting. But it says it's a fast-paced novel exploring the complex ties within families, the wages of devotion, and the line between love and hate. So I think it would be like a contemporary adult book, and I hope it's really good because I did enjoy The Lovely Bones when I read it a couple years ago. Then I picked up Death Watch by Ari Burke. I think I saw Vivacious Fiction talking about this probably a little while ago. I don't really remember. It's been a while since I've like sat down and watched YouTube videos. And I'm not really sure what this is about. So this was the cover by and the fact that I'd heard of it before. But yeah, this is book 1 in a trilogy, I think. So yeah. Then because it was like $2, I picked up The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket. This is the first book in a series of unfortunate events. I have only read up to the 6th, I think, and I know there's 13, so I want to collect them and keep them and reread them and cherish my childhood through them. Yeah, if you don't know what the series is about, it's about 3 orphans that go to live with Count Olaf, and it's just a series of unfortunate events because these kids seem to have bad coming to them from all over the place. Then I picked up The Distance Between Us by Casey West. And I know this is a contemporary about a rich person and a poor person. Except the guy's supposed to be rich and I think the girl's not. Yeah, I've heard fantastic things, not just about this book, but this author in general. And I own Pivot Point. I think that's what else she wrote. But I haven't read it yet. So I'm probably going to start with this one. And yeah, I'm very excited. Another one I'm super excited about, and it didn't have a remainder mark on it, and it was $4. I picked up Origin by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I own the first one, Obsidian, because Geraldine gave it to me for my birthday, and I've been dying to read it. I even own it on my Kindle. Yeah, my Kindle, not my Kobo. So I picked up the 4th one because I know I'm going to be buying the other ones anyway. So I think the 1st one is about like an alien, but I'm not sure because I haven't read it. And I'm not going to read the back of this one because I don't want to spoil myself 3 books in advance. So yeah. Then shockingly I picked up another adult thriller, and that is The Killing Hour by Paul Cleave. And what captured my attention about this one is in the summary it said, imagine waking up covered in blood, but it's not your blood. And you have like a bump on your head, you can't remember anything that happened. So you just know somebody's dead. So I'm very excited to read this because I'm really into thrillers, and the fact that it'll be adult kind of grabs my attention because I feel like it'll be denser, and I don't know. I mean, I like YA, don't get me wrong, but I need to read more adult, I think. I picked up Snow White Must Die by Neely Neuhaus. I'm sorry. She's German. When I scanned this on Goodreads, it said it was like a later book in a series, but based on the summary, I feel like you don't have to read them, like they're kind of companions. So this is about 2 detectives that investigate a crime scene, and the crime scene is a woman that fell off a bridge, but witnesses say she was pushed, so it's kind of figuring out what happened. Then I picked up The Girl Who Circumnavigated Fairyland and A Ship of Her Own Making by Catherine M. Valente. I bought the second one, so now I have the first one, and I'm not sure what they're about. I think they're middle grade, maybe. So I'm excited to read this. I've heard good things, and yeah. Then I picked up Displaced Persons by Gita Schwarz. This takes place in May of 1945 with a Polish Jew who was recently liberated from a concentration camp in Germany. Oh, in the British occupation zone of newly defeated Germany. So he has no information and all that kind of stuff, so he has to figure out a way to move on with his life. So he uses like his black market trading skills, and he kind of gets the documents and food and everything that he needs. So then it kind of fast forwards in time, and he's married with a family and things come up. So yeah, he's always kind of felt bad about the decisions he made, but yeah. I'm really into history, so I feel like this will be a good historical fiction for me to read, because I do love reading, but well, I don't love, but I enjoy learning more about the World War II concentration camp, Holocaust area. So yeah. And then finally from Book Outlet, I picked up Lexicon by Max Berry. I know that people would know that when people got the Book Riot box, the first one I think, this was in it, and it got my attention. So I saw it there for like $6 when originally it's $30. So I had to buy it, and I'm not really sure what it's about, but the cover's cool, so I had to. Okay, so I had to go downstairs and get these next two because I forgot I bought them this month, and that is Unite Me by Tahira Mafi. This is the bind up of Destroy Me and Fracture Me, and I read it and I loved it. I preferred Destroy Me more, I think, basically, but I liked Fracture Me because you got, I don't know if character development is the right way to put it, but you got to see a different side of the character that I did not expect. And it very much changed my mindset for Ignite Me, and yeah. And then, going off of that, I bought Ignite Me by Tahira Mafi because Shadow Me was awesome, and Unravel Me was freaking fantastic, and so was this one. I tabbed quite a few places, and I even avoided going out with people because I wanted to finish this book, and it was just so good. If you're friends with me on Goodreads or you're following me on Goodreads, you would know how much I enjoyed this book, and yeah. So I'm not going to say much about that because everybody knows what this book is about, and if you haven't read it, I totally recommend you do. I was hesitant about it because it was so hyped, but I don't know, I think it's kind of worth the hype. Okay, so then we get into the best six, and they're the last ones. Well, not this one. I picked up Illusion by Sherwin Kenyon because I had the first four. This is the fifth. I'm not sure if it's the final one, and I have no idea what it's about. But my mom had started picking them up, so then I started picking them up with her, so yeah. And then the Saturday before it came out, I found Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. I'd been highly anticipating this book because it just sounds so good. So it's about a girl named Amy, who is the other girl from Kansas, and her mission is to remove the Tin Man's heart, steal the Scarecrow's brain, take the Lion's courage, and then Dorothy must die. Because I guess all the power went to Dorothy's head, and now Oz has kind of gone downhill. And I just recently read The Wizard of Oz a couple months ago, and yeah, so now I'm very excited to read this now that I know the original story. A lot of these books are on like my most anticipated list. I picked up The Night Before College by Sonia Soanes, and I was not expecting it to look like this, but I still gave it 4 stars. I read it in like 10 minutes. It's just like a retelling of The Night Before Christmas. Like, it rhymes the exact same way, so I kind of read it as the poem in my head. So it's just about going to college and SATs, and I think I enjoyed it a lot because I could relate to it right now Like, I took my SATs in November and I'm applying to college like right now. So yeah, I think that's why I enjoyed it, and it was cute, it was quirky. So yeah. And then I finally got To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. I read The Summer I Turned Pretty by her and I loved it. I thought it was so cute. So I really wanted to get to this one, and now I have it. And this is about a girl, if you haven't heard, who writes letters to like all of her crushes, and she never means for them to get out, but they are. Like, they get sent out, and my first thought when I heard that was, why would she address them? Like, how would she know exactly where everybody still currently lives? So something about that, hopefully it makes sense when I read it, and all of those questions will get answered. But yeah, I'm so excited to read this. Then, just yesterday, well, when I'm filming this it was yesterday, but it's probably last week when you're watching this, I got Dreams of Gods and Monsters by Laini Taylor. This is the last book in the Daughter Smoke and Bone trilogy, which I have not read, but I'm going to now that I have the last one because I like marathoning my books. But I did not realize it was going to be so thick. So I heard mixed things through people on Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram. Somebody on Instagram told me that it was kind of dragged out and it didn't need to be this long, but I'm just going to take my time with them, I think, and hopefully just marathon them like over a week in the summer, because I can speed read like crazy in the summer. Well, not speed read, but like I just more relaxed. And then finally, I'm so excited to finally have this in my hands. I unboxed it this morning. Well, this afternoon, I guess, from the mail came, which again was probably like last week. Today's Thursday. So yeah, I think like last week. And I read an arc of this back in January, and this was my most anticipated book of 2014. And it is The Treatment by Suzanne Young, and it just looks so fantastic, and I love it so much, and it was such a good book, and I want to reread this little duology because it was so good from start to finish. And I'm going to be posting my review of this. If it's not up already, it should be. And yeah, it was just so good. And without the dust jacket, if you haven't seen the first one, you should look at it, but that's the cover for the second one, which I thought was going to be the original cover, and I loved it, but then they did that, so I'm glad that this is the actual hardcover part. So yeah, thank you guys for watching my very long book haul. Hopefully I can edit it down so you wouldn't have been sitting here for too long. And for May, like I said, hopefully, well, I am going to New York for BEA, but hopefully I won't buy any books until then because I want to save all my money to splurge when I'm in New York. But yeah, I think it's going to be kind of a long book haul, and there will be other book hauls scattered throughout the month because that bargain bookstore near my house that I love so much is closing. So, you know, I gotta go and check it out, see what they're having discounts on. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I hope you guys had a better month in April than I did. But I think this is going to be a long month. I'm going to be gone, and then Glee's ending this month, and it's just going to be crazy busy with school, but it's almost summer, so a lot of people I know are already on summer, so you know, you're lucky. So yeah, if you've read any of these books or want to read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, or let me know some of the books that you bought this month. Let's just talk down in the comments. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.